Hello, people. Today I have Anthony Caucci and Carlos. And Carlos and Anthony, they have a great channel called Mafia, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I find their stuff really good. So if you are a sub to this channel, go over there, people. I'm telling you, it's really good. And you know, I wouldn't just say that. But guys, Anthony, how you doing? I appreciate you coming by.
Good. How you doing, Lee?
Carlos, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good. Glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, I want to, you know,
a damn diplomat.
How long have you guys been together on your channel?
What, a month, 2 months? Something like that.
Since I went somewhere in October, right? When I was in Cartagena.
Yeah.
And you just do you guys know each other for a longer period of time, or?
Ooh, since we were kids.
Oof. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so, did this have anything to do with Anthony's business, or?
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, we go way back. Huh, Tony? You were 14, huh?
14, 15 when I started slinging, right?
Yeah, that's how old he was when I met him. I was 18.
Right.
So I'm taking it both of you guys are retired now.
Oh, definitely.
From that type of life.
From that life, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I was going to ask you if you can describe, Anthony, can you give me a brief summation of your life and
brief? Well, being in South Florida and being Italian, a lot of people don't realize how heavy the mob was down here. I mean, it was heavy, not just like some little fucking hick town, but you got the 5 families down here and everybody else. And Florida was open. It was open territory. It wasn't like New York where you guys people had sections. They could do this, they could do that. No, Florida was wide open. Everyone was doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And the bad thing about being wide open was Donnie Brasco is a good example. Someone like that can infiltrate easily because you don't know who he is. And, you know, he'll be seen with some fucking guy, and then suddenly they think he's good. There's a story I could tell, but not now, about a Broward Sheriff's Office guy named Dave Green. And he was seen with who was it? Chicago. I think it was a Chicago boss at the time in the 80s. It was Chicago or Philly. But they seen him. And this fucking guy, this Dave Green, Broward County Organized Crime Task, boy, he went right in. And he took down a whole bunch of people.
Oh, just like Donnie,
just like Donnie Brasco. That's right. You can Google Dave Green. He did his fucking fair share of taking people down. So as a kid, listen, I've seen all the mobsters. I knew all the rules, everything they wanted to do, you know. And you know, my dad, my grandfather said, "Listen, this is how it works." And you know, as I was growing up, I started getting into the drug game. You know, Carlos was down the street, and I'm making money, and I get popped at 16 years old. I get popped. Well, they want to make an example out of me, not just make an example. They think that if they get me to, well, they knew if they could get me to talk, they could take down some pretty big people, pretty big. Carlos at the time was pretty big, but they were looking for the Italians. They wanted big guys down, you know, mobsters. So they couldn't get anyone else. So they busted me on some stupid drug charge and then tried to get me to cooperate. I refused. I fucking refused. It took 2 years and I went to trial and I lost trial. I went to prison. But they tried everything to get me to cooperate, even just write a name on a piece of paper.
You went to prison at the age of 18 then? Yeah,
at 18 I went to prison.
Okay.
And Carlos, unfortunately, I got the dope from him. On that one and the other one. So then I got out and my dad said, listen, you know, if you're going to keep doing this, the Italians are going to want you in. You didn't rat, you didn't do this. And I said, listen, Pop, there's no way I'm going to join some fucking group, pay money on all the money I make, report to people, be a do boy and kick money up to some fucking boss you may or may never meet for what? He says, listen, it's just not that easy. You can't do what you're doing around this town. You're Italian. Everybody knows you since you're fucking knee high. Well, now that you're in this game, Rules are going to change, son. I said, well, fuck it. I'm going to do what I got to do. Steve Maruka tried to shake me down once. And then as I got a little bigger, I had a conversation with Carlos and said, listen, here's the deal. He said, don't worry, buddy. If you got any problems with those motherfuckers, you just let me know. So that was that. And I always use that. I said, listen, you guys, you Italians, you got all these rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. No women, no children. And if you want to fucking have a beef with me, this is what will happen. I'll call some Colombians. They'll come over on a fucking boat and they'll hit you and you'll never even know it. And they'll take out everybody. Your fucking catfish, everybody, the whole fucking 9 yards. So I won a couple sit downs just by telling people that. Because, listen, the mob knew. They wanted to believe they were the strongest in the country. Everyone wants to believe they're the strongest. But when you get someone coming from another country, especially back then in the 90s, you walk in, you walk out, fake passport, fake everything. You fucking fuck the passport. On a damn cargo boat. No passport. In, out. They were never here. So, so I worked both sides. A lot of the mobsters, we did a lot of things together. Besides, just throwing bricks around. A lot of shit. Everything the mob did. Fucking credit cards, insurance fraud. You fucking name it. I was doing it. And Carlos, he got a good connection with Jerry Chili. Chili set him up with something at the Miami International. Yeah. And ever since that started going, Chili might have been locked up at the time when he got that going. I can't fucking remember. Chili's always locked up. Was he locked up?
Yeah, he was locked up.
Yeah. And he just, Carlos asked me one day if I had anybody that could get some shit off of an airplane. I fucking didn't know anybody, but I made a few calls.
In the food carts.
Huh?
In the food carts.
The food carts. But this motherfucker, Chili called Maruka. Maruka got a hold of someone, and that was it. They put it on the fucking airplane. The first load was just in some suitcases, just as a test run. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, the first one, yeah.
They took that shit right off, and I was like, damn, that was that fucking easy.
And what year was this about?
What year was that? That was
I remember this was 89, 90.
90, 99. I think it was 90. I had just got out of prison.
Yeah.
88, 90, 91 maybe.
It was around that time frame. It was at that time frame.
Yeah, right around there.
And Anthony, how much time did you do on your first bid?
Little under 2 years on 4.
Carlos, I wanted to ask you, now you were part of the Colombian mob down there, or a group of people, or were you independent?
I was independent totally, but I got along with everybody, because of my contacts and my abilities of the way to import, the way to transport the goods and commercialize them. You know what I mean? Anthony could tell you, as soon as we started kicking, I could do 1,000, 2,000 bricks in a week. Import, sell, and bring and send down the money. You know what I mean? So that opened everybody's eyes.
So how long did you guys stay together doing this?
Until Tony. Well, while you were in Japan, I sent through that asshole. He did. I think it was 3 times. No, that the FedEx thing, right?
That was FedEx, and then we did after that. That was just the upstart,
right?
But how long did we were since? That was all the way up to 2000.
Yeah, because I left in 2000.
Right, and I was on the run.
Yeah.
For almost 5 years, and it was the first 2 years I wasn't doing shit. I was just laying low.
Right.
Because I was in Mexico, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan. Yeah.
Did you have any trouble traveling around when you were on the run?
Passports and stuff. I had an issue in Taiwan. And they grabbed me and they actually arrested me. And they started going through my passport. They were going through everything. And I was like, fuck, I'm finished. They were photocopying it. They had it under a blue light and all this shit. And they're going through, I had a fucking fanny pack on. Those things go around your waist. And they're going through that shit. And they found a business card And the business card was to my Kung Fu teacher in Taiwan. Well, this motherfucker was the head of the police academy. I had forgot. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. So, and I didn't even know the card was there. I forgot. I put it in my fucking bag. And they go, you know Shen Mao Wei? And I'm like, yeah, I know Shen Mao Wei. He's my Kung Fu teacher. He goes, oh, he's our Kung Fu teacher. And that just right there, everything was like, oh, fuck. And they were like bowing and shit. They said, can we call him to verify, you know, why you were here and all that? And I said, yeah, sure, please call him. It went from me going away forever to they opened the door, stopped the plane, drove me to the damn air fucking cockpit, bowed and all that shit. So, yeah, I got away.
Now, I've heard.
I got caught maybe 6 times. There was 6 times I should have been arrested. 6 times.
And I heard a lot that you're quite a martial artist. So I come from a family of martial artists. And matter of fact, my sister Maggie has a school in New York, and she's an 8th degree Dan in Taekwondo. And as you know, that's a high belt for a woman. And can you tell me something about your martial arts and exactly what type of belt you are and stuff?
Not much to say. I've been doing it since I was 9. No one would even understand what I'm talking about. It's just something called Chinese boxing. There's no rules at all. It's for life and death situations. So the kicks are low below the belt, you know, pull hair, gouge eye, break necks, shit, stuff like that.
Is it Karakashikai?
No, it's a synthesis of Chinese styles: Fukian White Crane, Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, Walu, Xingyi, Tai Chi, Bagua. And it's just a synthesis. It's brutal. It's really brutal. It's so brutal. You couldn't even open a commercial school. Nobody would want to do it.
Right.
You can't fight. You can't go to sports with it and fight with it. You can gouge someone's eyeball out and bite their ear off. But you know, it's not meant to use just to use. You need to use it.
And have you ever had to use it when you've been in a bad situation? Let's say you're in Miami.
Yeah, I've used it quite a few times. I mean, quite a few times, I'd say, like real fights, 6 maybe. 1 in Japan was really bad. No, 2 in Japan were really bad. The 1 was bad. The other one was fast. The other one was 3 people against me. That was so fast. It was like, boom. It was kind of funny. But the last one was bad. 2 people ended up in the hospital. I got hit with one guy got a punctured lung. I got hit in the head with a bottle. And then in prison a couple times I had to use it.
And Carlos, are you like Anthony when it comes to that, or
no? I'm just 9mm.
Okay.
No, 9mm. That's it.
Shoot first, ask later.
Yeah, I did. When I was younger, I did a little bit of boxing, wrestling, and stuff like that, but nothing like what Anthony's talking about or anything like that. You know, I can hold my own, but at a normal level. Anthony's just, you know, out of this world. So, you know. So
when you guys were in Florida together, did you hang out together or did you just do business?
No, we're good friends. Best of friends. We've always been best of friends. Yeah. We hang out, you know. Anthony was wild back then. You know, I was wild also. You know, we just you know who I was thinking about the other day, Tony?
Who's that?
You remember Pam? The little dark skinned girl?
Oh shit.
I remember he used to come to my office and I was just downstairs with Pam. I'm like, Pam, this motherfucker. Damn. I knew Pam since she was like about 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, we've always been tight friends. Tight.
So you guys are pretty much working together for what, 10, 15 years in Miami, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy.
And how profitable was it? I mean, you guys seem like you're the smart type of dealers where you're going to make sure you hold on to your money. So, you know,
it was good.
Did very well. Very, very, very well. You know,
do you think, is it still like that? Is it still, is it still like that down there now?
Still like that in what ways do you mean? Like in our economy,
a lot of drugs moving around.
Or the business? Oh, the drugs are still moving. They're not going to stop that, you know. But it's not as strong to the States because everybody became afraid of the States because anything heading to the States, or if you or anything similar of heading towards the States, you're in trouble. You get extradited and everything. You know what I mean? Now, like for instance, if you're sending stuff to Mexico, Honduras, Central America, Panama, or any of the islands, the Caribbean islands, final destination States, right? So, but there's a lot of drugs moving. There's a lot of drug moving. Mostly right now it's to Europe. Europe and Africa.
Anthony, you mentioned something about sending stuff through parcel post. So can you explain that to me? Was it to other countries or was it around the country?
No, this was just a test when getting into Japan. It was a feeler basically, because I heard what was going on over there, and the prices we're talking 150,000 a brick.
Yeah.
As opposed to 15 where we were down in Miami. So
Right.
I gave Carlos a call and said, listen, here's what it is. And he goes, all right, well, let's fucking see what we can do. And we'll do a little feeler. And there was a rule, well, it was back then at FedEx, that if you kept it, fuck, I shouldn't be telling the world this, but it's not a rule anymore, I don't think. If you kept it under 250 grams and it was documents, it didn't even go through customs. It just went right through, right? Because they can't be checking every,
Right.
So that's how they sent it a couple times, and just to see if we can move it. So we send fucking 8 ounces, 6 ounces, whatever the fuck it was. And after a couple of those shipments, it went fucking haywire. Now we have to figure out how we're going to get in a couple hundred bricks.
Mm-hmm. And you were pushing this around Japan?
Oh, yeah.
Was there like organizations in Japan that you were giving this to, supplying, like the Yakuza? Or
the Yakuza wasn't that heavy into, you got to understand that the Coke wasn't even introduced into Japan until the 90s.
Right.
95. Crazy. My buddy of mine, an Iranian, was one of the guys that actually brought it in. He used to sit at the subway and tell people, hey, would you like to try this? Would you like to try this? And they're like, what is it? He go, come on over here and take him to the bathroom and let him do a line. Right. And then they were selling it for $200 a gram. The Japanese were like, wow, this is great shit. Let's fucking, they like to drink. They like to party. So for a long time, the Japanese police didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Had no clue. And then I get there and, these Iranians are the ones controlling everything. Iranians controlling Japan. But they weren't controlling Japan as a whole, but they were controlling a small city called Roppongi. And Roppongi is probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 blocks long. But there's more fucking drugs in that 6 or 8 blocks. It's like downtown, New York, and it's all foreigners. So the beauty about Roppongi was all the foreigners went there. I mean, if you were white or from another country, you went to fucking Roppongi, and the Japanese went there to hang out with you. But the Yakuza had no idea who was doing what as far as illegal shit, because the street guys, the hustlers, to us, to them, we all look the same. They don't speak English. They don't know what we're doing. So they have no control over the drugs. None. Until I got there and met a guy named Kawana, who was the head of the Kanto biker gang. And me and him became best friends. And with his help, I was able to take over that whole city. I took over that whole city in about 3 weeks. I had the Iranians wanting to kill me. I mean, they were looking for me everywhere. I mean, they wanted to kill me. I took all their business in a matter of weeks. They were there for fucking 10 years.
How long were you there?
I was 3 years.
3 years. And were you in hiding at that time, or were you just there from?
I wasn't hiding. I was on the run, but I wasn't like hiding. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that when you were there, you really practiced your martial arts too.
Well, Japan, not really. I fought a lot. There's a lot of people, causing problems and stuff. I never cause problems. I'm quiet, but I'm not going to walk away from something either. I'm not one of those that walks away, but I would never start a fight. I'm not that type of person. But people in Japan, they go there to party, they drink, they get stupid, and shit happens. But because Japan has a lot of it's a Japanese system. I don't do Japanese, like, you know, karate and all that, taekwondo is Korean, but I do Chinese style. So when I was in Taiwan, yeah, there was a lot of martial arts. I was in Taiwan for a year. I studied with you know, Ip Man. It did the 3 movies.
Oh yeah.
IP Man, Ip Man. Well, I studied with his nephew, Lo Man Kam, and they had people from all over the world over there. But yeah, Japan was. Now, the only thing that was good about Japan were the fights, the pride fights, you know, like our UFC, but the pride fights over there.
Where everybody was on steroids and just going at it.
They were, man, we had, in Guana, his best buddy had something to do with the pride fights. He'd get the pass. We'd go right in, go in through the locker rooms, front row seats, and they beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, they did. Plus, they were juiced up. There was no, you can take as much steroids as you wanted. They were monsters.
Football kick to the head. They didn't care.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could be kicked in the face when you're laying on the mat.
Stomp on your head. Everything. Jump off the ropes and drive a knee to your head.
Oh, it was brutal.
Fucking brutal.
And Carlos, did you help him? Did you get the drugs to him from Miami?
Yeah, through someone that we know in mutual over here, a mutual friend. He would take care of that part of sending the stuff over to Anthony after we agreed on how we were going to do it and everything. Then he would handle that part, but I would provide the dope. So
things were a lot bit different back then because you couldn't go on a computer and say hi. So did you ever get on a plane? So did you ever get on a plane and go hang out in Japan?
No. I never got to go see Tony. You know, plus I got indicted in 2000, so I had to leave also. I left to Mexico. I was in Mexico for 2 years before I got extradited back to the States. Yeah.
And did you wind up doing time?
Yeah, I did 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Well, I guess
got deported back to Colombia.
Now, did you, Anthony? Did you know Chris Paciello when you were down in Miami?
No, never met him. I heard about him.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I met him. I partied with him a couple of times at his club. You know what I mean? Because I would always come in with a crew, and I had a big crew and his but friends, no. We just, you know, I'd send him a bottle, he sent me a bottle, stuff like that. He didn't even know my name. I knew who he was afterwards, though. After he got in trouble, I didn't really know his name either, because he used to go out with a paisana of mine from here.
Everybody?
He used to go out with Sofia. He used to go out with Sofia Vergara. So that's how okay. So she's from here. So that's how that's why we would like interact, but it was just a couple of times. I never even crossed words with him about anything, you know? So.
And people, just so you know, Anthony's had a very exciting life. So I'm going to of course, I can only touch into a little bit of it. So what I'm going to say is Anthony has a book here. I'm going to show people the book, and he has a website, and if you want to go to his website, it's very simple. It's his name, and that's the book. It's called Mafia Made. It's Anthony Caucci, and Anthony. I noticed. Did your wife write the book with you or something?
Yeah. It was actually her idea. Her idea.
Now, did something happen with your wife or something? If I may ask. Yeah,
she passed away almost a year ago.
Just out of the blue? I mean, suddenly?
Laid down. Laid down, and that was it.
That's incredible. I mean, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And, you know, I kind of hear your story. As a matter of fact, the first time I seen you, you were telling Sammy Gravano to meet you in a park. So,
that was, here's how that happened. So many, you know how it goes. People fucking sending you all these messages. Oh, Sammy would do this to you. Sammy would do that. Sammy would do this. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to shut these motherfuckers up, right? I actually called some friends of mine that are active and said, listen, this is what I'm going to do. And they were like, oh, they wanted the venue to start selling hot dogs and shit at the park. He thought they listen, if this motherfucker shows up, we're going to make a shitload of money. That's how they're thinking. I go, this fucker ain't showing up. But I called him out, and oh, you want to fight an old man? I didn't say I was going to fight him. I'm going to fight guys 70 years old. I just want to see if his money was where his mouth was. All this blap, 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 blap. Come to find out, he can't even. He's hiding. You don't know where he is.
Yeah.
He calls people out.
He's not going to leave Arizona.
No. And then he called out a couple people while he's doing the podcast and says, "Come see me, motherfucker." Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you left out your address. At least when I called you out, I put a place and a location and a time. You get back to me. You're gonna come. You're not gonna have fucking crickets. He ain't coming.
Well, a couple of days ago, he flagged one of my videos. His people did. His son flagged my videos about maybe 10 days ago, and then 3 days ago, I sent a message to Gerard and asked him if I could use part of Sammy's video. Sammy called me, and so here I am. Sammy calls me and goes, "Hey, you cocksucker! How about if I put my fucking foot up your ass?" He goes, "You're making all these videos, these negative videos about me and stuff." I said, "Sammy, can I still use your video?" He goes, "Yeah, you could use my video, but you got to stop writing fucking negative shit about me." I mean, so out of the blue, who would think Sammy Gravano would just call you?
Well, it seems like he wants to pick on the small guys. He won't call me.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is, though? Any type of channel bothers them. If they're talking, I did a video on Alan Kaiser, the kid that was killed. Right. And he had Jimmy Calandra and I were friends. Jimmy asked me not to do it. And then when I did it, Jimmy told me to go to hell the next day and was blasting me. And he's never really been my friend since then. And that was
no one's hammered Sammy the Bull more than me and Carlos. Nobody.
Well, you guys are good, man. You hammer a lot of people.
I mean, that's why he don't send a letter. He don't do shit. He ain't doing nothing.
No. He ain't doing nothing. Yeah, he's like pushing 80, Yeah. I want to ask you guys something. First, before anything, I want to talk to you. Your last show, you were talking about Michael Franzese. And let's see where you said that Michael Franzese was subpoenaed by a grand jury and he spilled the beans at the grand jury. Yeah,
Mike says it in some of his videos. He got called in, and his excuse was, well, I got subpoenaed. He just says it on his video. I got subpoenaed. I had to go, and I started thinking, all right, you're a subpoena. You do have to go. If you don't go, you're getting charged with contempt of court. He's right. You got to go. You don't have to talk.
Right.
Plead the fifth. He
So
could have pleaded
the fifth.
He could have pled the fifth, but then they can give you immunity and make you fucking talk, and then you lie. That's what you're supposed to do: lie or forget. Right. These two things you can forgetting is easy because they can't prove that you don't remember. I just don't remember. They can't hit you with lying when you don't remember. But he took the other route. Let me talk and blah blah. He cleans his shit up all the time. My dad got indicted. He went to grand jury. He lied. He got indicted for then he got charged for lying. He got indicted for perjury. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep your mouth shut. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, I noticed that you and Carlos have been really on this the meeting between these two guys. Who do you think's had the best of this the meeting between them?
You go first, Carlos. Who do you think got the best of that one?
I think Michael got the best of this whole show. Not to mention the guy that put it together. What's his name? He made a bunch of money, I think. But besides that, I think Michael, he was able to bring out in Sammy. How can I say this? The roughness, the dumbness. You know what I'm saying? He made himself look so intelligent, and he lowered Sammy so much. So I think Michael sold himself way better than what Sammy did. You know what I mean? And within the argument and everything, Sammy would just blow steam, and he starts talking crazy stuff. Made a couple of points, yeah, but I think Michael came ahead.
I like one line Sammy said. He says, "The last thing I want you to do is pray for me." I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm very surprised you said that because you guys have been kind of hard on Michael through your videos, the last few videos.
Well, my personal feelings and what I take on Michael's more dangerous than Sammy, because Sammy, you know what Sammy's about. You know what you know what to expect from Sammy. Michael, we don't know. That's someone you need to, keep your eye on. You know what I'm saying? So,
and Michael actually is a very smart man. It's quite obvious.
Oh, very, very, and he used his intelligence to make this that whole thing. What was it called? Yeah, that he to use it towards his advantage. You know what I mean? So that's what I think.
And Anthony, what do you think between the two? Who got the best of it?
Well, I think it's really two-sided. I think Sammy pulled some shit on Mike, especially especially the last one. He got him good. Well, you said you were hanging out with me at MDC. I wasn't even there, motherfucker. Who's delusional? I wasn't even there, and you say you were there with me, but I wasn't even there. So complete lie that he was hanging out with Sammy the Bull.
Yeah. And
he called him on a whole bunch of things about when Franzese got made and how, wait a minute, you're this young and you got pushed up to be a made guy when Sammy was out there before him waiting. So a lot of things he called, what was the other one? Where the fuck did the $15 million,
oh yeah.
You owe the government $15 million. I mean, Sammy hit Mike with a million things. All right. Sammy exposed the shit out of Franzese. However, to Carlos's point, Franzese knows how to cover shit up. Yep. He knows how to talk and this and that and, just keep going on long-winded conversations over and over and over. Let me finish. And Sammy's like, all right, fuck. But point-wise, I would say whichever one, who uncovered the most dirt, Sammy uncovered more dirt on Mike. He uncovered him, right? Mike handled it better as far as two guys at a sit down talking, because Mike was just kicking back. And the other thing is we don't know what the rules were. Okay, I can guarantee you they sat down because this thing was supposed to come out a tie. Right? There's not going to be no surprises. These two guys aren't going to sit down and one guy walks away with his ass busted wide open. It ain't going to happen. They're going to say, hey, we're going to cover this. We're going to cover this and cover this. There might have been a couple loopholes, a couple surprises, maybe. But this was well thought out. So if there was a second one or who knows.
I like the one show you guys did where you mentioned that he was renting these houses, not paying for them, really nice places. And he paid $100 toward the money he owed.
Right.
I mean, that's unbelievable. So do you think he's even paid that money back yet?
He actually did a video on how much was it, Carlos? Did he pay back? I know I saw the video.
250,000 from the 15
He paid 250,000 on 15 million. Now, how do you do that?
The government likes him because he gave him a lot of information.
That's the only way. Like. The government's not just going to bend over and say, oh, you know what? We feel sorry for you. You did your time. They're not going to, they don't do that shit. You owe them 15 fucking million. You're paying something.
And if the government is able to recover through other investigations and everything, way more than 15 million, they're going to thank you. Nice seeing you. Just give us a little tip here. That's it.
And I would imagine that they would say, like they do everyone, listen, that 15 million, if you make any money off this case and your publicity of being a gangster and all this shit, we want it. They stop people from writing books and from profiting off of this shit. And here he is, doing all this shit on YouTube.
Right.
However, like I said, with the church thing, that's the loophole. That's the fucking loophole. He can get around it with the church.
Sure is. Yeah, I got some grief when I talked about that. Because Michael has a lot more people like him than Sammy.
Of course, yeah.
And you guys kind of provoked me. Nothing personal, guys, but you kind of provoked a couple of my shows. And then I had back at her. I didn't even know what she was talking about. I did them because I watched your videos, and your videos made a lot of sense. So I kind of stole your material, nothing personal.
That's all right.
I not steal it, but I actually listened to it. It was just very entertaining.
Use it, reuse
and you're
it,
right too. And you know, you're right though, because Sammy puts his shit out there. Sammy said that if he was in the same room with Rudy Giuliani, he whacked him. I mean, who says that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he said that. You know, he said, did you see that?
I heard about
that. Okay, come in the room with me. I'll whack you like that. They can put me away for the rest of the life. You got your.
Yeah,
like, that's what I mean.
Yeah, he said it was a good.
How dumb he was, you know.
And that's a killer though. That's someone that cannot control their temper. You know, you could see it. If he had a gun in his hand, he would shoot you and not even think twice about it. Where I think Mike would go out and hire somebody, most likely, and stay out of it. Do you think that Mike Franzese ever actually did hurt anybody himself?
Not himself.
No, I don't think
so. But he, I can guarantee you, he instigated and he sponsored people getting hurt. I know a lot of people like Mike.
And here's another thing about this whole thing with Mike. When he went before the Senate, I find the whole thing, him talking to the Senate, total snitching on public TV, because he called out some active guys during that whole, when he was sitting down there. And so especially you're not supposed to give up. Yes. And he mentioned his father's rank. He mentioned everything he was telling what his father did. Yep. And his father's sitting in prison at that time. And I'm thinking to myself, well, one of the things in the Mafia is you're not supposed to give people's ranks and stuff. That's why
his dad okayed to hit on him.
Yeah, well, it must be a lot more that we don't know about either that he did, you know, for his father.
Wasn't he adopted? He was adopted, no? Wasn't he adopted?
Yeah, he's adopted, but I mean, the father knew about the hit and okayed it. Who okays a hit on their own son? It's got to be bad. You know, listen, Mike, when he told on Norby Walters, that was one thing. He probably could have got away with that, right? Because who's Norby Walters? Some fucking nobody. When he went in front of fucking the Senate and started naming, mobsters, Don King, actors, all these legit people, innocent people. As soon as you put that name out there, boom, investigation. Yeah. He says you didn't put anybody away. How many fucking investigations got opened? Right, how many people got popped because of him running his fucking mouth?
And so here's the thing I have with that. There was 2 undercover cops involved in this, and they seemed to be with Michael. And yet Don King was able to spot him from a mile away. So I have a feeling that the whole thing was set up. I mean, with the cops, the undercover cops. What do you guys think about that with those 2 cops?
What are you talking about exactly?
There were two undercover cops that when he went to his meeting with Don King right away knew they were cops. He felt it. You know, that street thing in him.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and he just felt it in him that they were cops. And Al Sharpton, being the idiot he is, was literally trying to work with them. And Don King wanted nothing to do with it and walked away from it. So, you know, yeah, and that right there just showed you the difference of, say, Don King, unless Michael Franzese knew they were cops. Who knows? You know, nobody knows.
Yeah, well, probably because you don't bring any old person into a meeting with you. It's rare. Look, Donnie Brasco was a 1 in a million, but for Mike to bring in 2 guys that were cops and not know it, come on.
Well, he talks about this in one of his videos too, about these, but he doesn't tell it the way it really happened. He tells it,
he won't do that.
his way. But Don King knew right away, and that's that Cleveland street in Don King.
Oh yeah, Don King is one slick mother. You know what I mean? He knows. He can smell them.
He made some money. So you guys got anything new coming up on this whole thing with Sammy and Mike? Or
we're just looking for stuff. I mean, I'm actually just learning about the mob and stuff like that. You know, before I started talking, I knew Sammy the Bull. I know who John Gotti was. You know what I mean? I know who Al Capone was. You know what I mean? And then now I'm just doing all my research and stuff. And then Tony's the one that's been guiding me. And then, you know, now with that, I'm doing this with Tony. I see a lot of the comments. A lot of guys send me links and stuff so I can, and I'm getting up to date on a bunch of stuff. And we're just looking for stuff, you know, waiting to see what else they came out with and what BS comes out. And, you know, we'll comment on it.
You know how much time we take to prepare before we video?
How long?
About 10 minutes.
Not even.
About 10, 15
I get an interview.
Just find some video and boom. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, done. And you can talk for 45 minutes. It's that fucking easy because it's bullshit. People lie their ass off, you know. And
yes,
you know, the YouTube community, they hear stuff and they're like, either all right, it's entertaining, and they really don't give a fuck whether it's true or not. They don't. Some of them do, but they really don't care. It's something to watch.
Without a doubt.
They enjoy the bullshit, but they enjoy the bullshit, especially being Pablo at a church.
Right. So, you know, when I see something, I go the old school way and check the newspaper, right? And these YouTubers, they're not going to get there and start reading shit. Fuck that. No, that's too much work. They want to hit the button and let someone read it to them. So I'll look at something and go, okay, hold on. And then when we come up with something, go, hey, this is what happened. Now, like everyone's got their ear. Wait a minute. How can that be? Well, then you got to put a link in there and hope they go read it.
Yeah.
Also, you know, the newspapers are usually pretty damn accurate.
I got up 10 o'clock this morning. Well, I was up at 10 o'clock this morning. Angel Gotti put up a video about me. And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, because I made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. Actually, it's fact. But I said that Rogerio, his uncle, was Dela Croce. And she said, no, he wasn't. So for 3 days, she's been attacking me. But anything I pull up says the same thing. I mean, I pulled up like 5, 6, 7 sources.
Right.
And
well, listen, here's what I do. I make mistakes. You know, I say, fuck it. Who cares? You try, you make a mistake, you clean it up, or you can't. Fuck it. Don't let, you know, because they'll try this and that. And if you let stupid shit bother you, you'd be aggravated all the time, especially when you're right.
Yeah.
You know, and they come back with this shit and you're wrong. If you're wrong, then you just fuck it. I was wrong. I don't care. Big deal. Next. What's the next fucking subject? Yeah. You know, like I was saying, the YouTube people, they want entertainment. You fuck up, you correct it and keep going. That's it. They don't give a fuck. As long as you correct it. If you don't, and you know you're dead wrong, then, well, I got a lot of people say, you know, at least you corrected it. I'm fine. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm wrong. Fuck it. Not a big deal.
That's true.
And what's your goal? What's your goal with your show right now? I mean, what do you guys have planned?
Nothing.
Fucking nothing.
Whatever happens, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happens. Yeah. The fun
I feel the same way.
The fun part's going to be the Colombia trip.
Yeah, that's
can
going
you
to
talk?
be.
Can you talk about that
one time?
Well, can you talk about it?
Talk about it, because you don't want me talking about it.
Well, Colombia. I want to start showing a different face of Colombia. I mean, I know what people think about. As soon as they talk Colombia, they're talking about Pablo and this and the cartels and all that. Yeah, you know, that's a way to get people over here to start showing them stuff about this, but show Colombia in a different phase. I mean, Colombia's a beautiful country. You know what I mean? And I know the beautiful women, the good food. And it's just a way for us, just entertainment. You know what I mean? I get bored over here sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I said, hey, why don't we just start, you know, bringing people down here? We'll do some events, or you know, be tour guides for a couple days or something like that. And then, you know,
whose idea was this? Mine or yours? I can't remember.
Yours.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
you want to be over here all the time. Don't come with that shit. I'm here. You're the one that wants to be coming over here all the time.
I don't want to go there all the time. Fuck that. I don't like the flight.
Oh, okay. Well, but that's the idea. I mean,
so Carlos,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
what would they do if they want to go? Who would they get in touch with? How would they do it?
Just email us. Email us at the Mafia Made Colombia or Mafia Made 1971 at Gmail. And then, you know,
and Colombia is spelled with 2 O's, Colombia. There's no U in Colombia.
Okay. And when I put this video down, I will put it underneath here, people. So if you want to get a hold of them, it would. Beautiful. It sounds. So how is it difficult to get into Colombia if you're a felon?
Hell no. They roll out the red carpet
for you. Hell no. We're gonna give a trip away. We're figuring out how to get the trip away. You know what I mean? So you know that's gonna be fun also. You know, it's just stay tuned, guys. You know what I mean?
So what exactly can people expect while they're in Colombia on this trip, Carlos?
Fun.
Well, you got to elaborate a little bit more.
Parties. You know, we're gonna have sit downs with us. Stories that we can't say through here. You know what I mean? A lot of things that we can't talk about through here. You know, they're gonna get to go to places, emblemental places that are famous. Show them around. Show them a good time.
Introduce them to people.
Introduce them to key people. You know, nice people. You know, elegant people.
With long
hair. How nice is Colombia for like an older single man?
Really nice. Heaven. Heaven.
Yeah, I'm single for the first time in 40 years.
Really?
So after your first day.
Wow. Well, don't be surprised you come back married.
Well,
right, Anthony?
Funny motherfucker.
Oh, you know something?
Get married the first day he got here. I go, calm down.
Hey, 95% of this genre, of the Mafia genre, are males. So if you guys do, you guys are going to do. If you guys can push this and maybe shoot a video on it and put the video.
Everything's going to be documented. Everything since they land.
I think you get me. And I would tell you guys. And I would tell you guys to make sure you get on Armchair Show, because Tom LaVecchia's people that watch his show have so much money they don't know what to do with it. So,
all right, Tom. Hey, Tom. Sorry, buddy. You were supposed to be first. You were supposed to be first, and I dropped the fucking ball. He's called Tom LaVecchia Armchair. Subscribe. Good channel. My bad.
So when I'm done with this, I'll give Tom a call and tell him what you said. Okay. And a matter of fact, I will text you Tom's number, Anthony. Okay, because he already said it's okay.
All right.
So you can talk to him and work things out. But you know, he's good.
I'll have Tom email Carlos, because Carlos is during the day. He's on a computer a lot. It's Mafia Made Colombia, COLOMBIA at Gmail. So if Tom emails him, because Carlos was able to set this one up with you, because I'm doing 15 things at once.
How many people do you have right now, Carlos, signed up for the trip?
The first trip is booked. The second trip, we have how many, Tony? I think we got
7 or 8 now.
7 or 8. We got like 2 more spaces left.
And
if we do 10.
And what's the
cost in the second one?
And what's the cost on average?
It's about 46. It's about $46.50, right? Because we were doing a credit for the airline tickets. It's about $46.50, but that includes you got 5 days of everything. They get their own room. They get all food, drinks, a couple things.
Does that include the hook? Does that include the hookers?
Ooh.
There's things that are, put it this way, there's things included that we can't even say.
Exactly.
Oh, it sounds like a blast. Are you guys going to have a third one? Because I think I might be quite interested.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, look,
these things go well. I think we can do one a month. I think, and Tony,
at least one a month. Or we do one big one or 2 little ones a month, because at this rate, we got 8 people already. We haven't even done the first one. Imagine what happens after we put the video out.
Yeah, and everybody sees exactly what goes on over here.
It's going to be fucking insane.
It sounds awesome. I mean, I'll tell you what. I think that once I mention this in the genre that I'm in, that you're going to get something off of it, and especially Tom LaVecchia. I think you'll get something too. When is the second trip? What month is the second trip in?
It's April 13th through the 18th.
Oh, so you're doing these quick. So the second trip is quick.
Yeah.
So you'll probably have a third trip.
We want to do them every month.
So every month. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will talk about that. Well, we're talking about it, and then I'll put your email down there. It sounds like a blast, and
beautiful.
It sounds like something that I might be very interested in. The third one, the second one, be hard. But guys, listen, I really appreciate you coming on, and
thank you for having us.
Well, and Anthony, I know that your life, I couldn't even get into talking to you about your life because there's so much going on.
Take fucking forever.
So I would say to anybody, go to AnthonyCaucci.com, and people remember there you could look at the books, his book. You can buy his book. Underneath, I have the YouTube channel running. And if you need any information, just let me know. And like I said, also remember the trip to Colombia that they're signing people for the second trip in April. They're going to be trying to do one every month. Anthony, thank you so much. Carlos, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll have Tom LaVecchia get a hold of you quick.
Okay. All right.
So you guys take care. Okay. Bye.
Bye, brother. Take care.